Namaste, my faithful yogis. Welcome to yet another yoga practice, a delicious yin practice for the arms. My name is Susanna of Soulgate, and I will be guiding you through the next half an hour of our yin practice with a little bit of yang. Some of you may feel it is quite a deep stretch, deep opening to the arms and shoulders and the frontal area of the upper body. For your practice, you will need a nice clear space by a wall. And I would like you to remember that if you are nursing any injuries, if you are feeling any discomfort during the practice, please come out of the pose or ease out of the pose. And so without any more talking about it, let's begin our practice. We'll begin our practice with a wall broken wing pose, where you come facing the wall, point your toes towards the wall, extend the right arm away from the body, press your palm into the wall. Then shuffle your feet away from the extended arm, in our case towards the left hand side. I'd like you to bring attention to your right hip, right shoulder, and gently press them closer towards the wall. You're also welcome to rest your head on the wall. And once you find that optimal stretch in the right side of the shoulder joint, I would like you to focus on your breath. Start taking deep inhales in through the nose and full exhales out through the nose. Maybe send your breath to where you're feeling this pose the most. This is a nice opening to the shoulder joint, especially if you are suffering from frozen shoulder injury. It's just a nice way to release the tension in that right side of the shoulder. It opens the chest area, creating more space for the right lung. So I really would like you to focus on your breath. Send deep breath into the right side of your chest, creating more space, expansion in the right side of your body. Ever so often, if you feel the release happening in the right front of the shoulder, shuffle the feet away from the body, keeping the tension, the stress on the joint. And yes, in yin classes, we do create an element of stress to the areas we are working on. So when we release from the pose, this sends body the signal to attend to the area, to send oxygen, nutritions into the area of the body that we have been putting under stress. And after 2 minutes, we will release from our broken wing here. You're welcome to relax both arms beside the body and shake them out a little bit. Then from here, move the arms up towards the ceiling and then move the right arm across the body over towards the left side of the body. We move into a wall pretzel arm variation, this time working on the opposite side of the right shoulder. We are opening the area across the shoulder blade and over to the side and front of the shoulder joint. And I encourage you to maybe bring the left hand down underneath your forehead to rest your head against, if you can't keep it stretched up towards the ceiling. Then bring attention to the area we are working on. Remember to keep the right palm pressing into the wall. If you can, maybe relax that right shoulder a little bit further down away from the ear. And notice how this alters the sensation in your shoulder blade and where you're feeling this stretch the most. Send your breath there. Breathe calmly and deeply. Use these little moments as pockets of meditation where you can be fully present in your breath and in your body, supporting it in this way, becoming more intuitive towards the wants and needs of your body. Take one full deep breath here. And then with your exhalation, release your arms down beside the body. Let the gravity pull your shoulders, your arms down towards the earth. And from here, we'll move over to the left-hand side, starting with a broken wing, extending the left arm away from the body. At about 45-degree angle, if it feels good for you, maybe move the arm slightly up towards the ceiling. And then again, shuffling the feet out away from the extended arm towards the right side of the room. Maybe pressing your left hip and left inner shoulder a little closer towards your wall. This time creating space in left pectoral muscle, creating space for that left lung to expand fully. Rest your head softly on the wall. And remember to always find that sweet spot where you're feeling the intensity of the stretch, but not to the point where you're holding the breath or where you're starting to feel any pains or numbing sensations. Working with the range of motion available to you today. If you notice opening, increase in that range of mobility, readjust the feet, readjust the shape to come back to the point of intensity where you're alerting your body to draw attention to that particular area of your body. These shoulder stretches are beneficial for anyone who spends their time working at the computers or driving for work or any other profession that requires you to hunch over a desk in some way. And taking one full deep breath here and shuffling the feet, toes back towards the wall, releasing the left arm down beside the body, maybe giving a little shake. Before we move over to the opposite side of our pretzel arm, extending both arms up towards the ceiling and then moving that left arm underneath the right armpit away from the body, maybe walking the fingertips further away. And again, you're either keeping your right hand extended up towards the ceiling, or you can use it to support your forehead to rest your head onto. And maybe noticing how this shoulder feels as opposed to the first shoulder. Always observing, never getting attached. Breathe softly and calmly. Send your breath to where your body needs it the most. And like with all the other previous poses, we'll hold this just for a couple of minutes. Even though sometimes it can feel like an eternity. It's just the mind playing the tricks on us. Ever so often scan the area of the body we're working on And notice if there is a release opening. And then maybe readjust the pose to increase the stretch of the left shoulder blade, the outer left shoulder joint. Taking one full deep breath here, and then moving out of the pose mindfully, slowly. Again, releasing both arms either side of the body. I enjoy pressing forehead into the wall, letting my arms, my shoulders hang heavy, allowing the gravity to pull them down towards the ground. It may feel good here to come to standing and just gently roll through the shoulders from the front to back and then the opposite way, spreading the synovial fluid around the shoulder joint. From here we'll move into our next pose, the variation of melting heart pose, Anahatanasana. I'm going to walk you through 3 variations here. You can start with moving your arms up towards the ceiling and spread them as wide as it feels comfortable for you. And then allow your head, your chest to fall down towards the ground. So really you are supporting yourself just with your hands. You can do this in standing, or you can come down onto your knees. And again, move your arms onto the wall, palms pressing into the wall, and then allowing the full opening of the chest. Your heart, your front body is melting down towards the ground. However, if this is too much for your knees, I quite like to come down all the way onto my belly, supporting myself with a prop. You can also bring a blanket underneath your hips, your lower belly. And again, open the arms wide as it feels comfortable. Press your hands into the wall and allow your forehead, your chest to come down towards the ground. I use the block to rest my forehead upon. And this is a really nice back bend for your upper body and for your middle back. It's quite an intense opening to the shoulders and quite a deep stretch to the side of your armpits. You may feel a juicy stretch in the whole area of your front body. It can happen that your hands slip on the wall, and that's okay. Just go with it, readjust, and then find your stillness again. We only hold this for a couple of minutes because it is quite a deep opening. Remember to return to your breathing. Focus solely on your breath. Let your breath guide you through your practice, always. Your breath will always give you an indication of how far you are taking the pose. Also notice your facial muscles, your joints. If you are holding tension anywhere in your face, just relax it. Maybe lift the sides of your mouth. And then taking one full deep breath here and releasing the arms down towards the ground beside the body, turning the head towards the right hand side, resting the left ear down onto the ground. And to keep the balance in the body, turn the head the opposite way, bring your right ear down onto the ground. And take a moment to observe what you're feeling in your arms, in your chest, in your neck perhaps, or your back. Then tuck the toes in and move into a child's pose. Bring the knees together. Allow your hips to sink down towards your heels. And importantly, allow your arms to rest beside your feet. This will give your shoulders opportunity to relax, to sink down towards the ground. It's a nice counterpose to the back bend we have moved through. Rebound of the pose. Observing the benefits of each pose, each shape we move through in our practice. Breathe deeply into your belly and maybe notice how it presses into your thighs as you do this. Then very slowly start moving out of your child's pose. And then take a moment to look up at your screen to see what our next pose is going to look like. We will place one hand down onto lower back and then move it up the spine towards the space between the shoulder blades. We will do this against the wall, so come back to the wall and press your back against the wall. You can keep your legs extended or you can bend into the knees and place the soles of the feet onto the ground. Then we start with the right hand, move it behind your lower back, palm pressing into the wall, and then start moving it up the spine towards your shoulder blades. Stay here, or if you'd like to add another stretch to the right side of the neck, simply bring your left ear down towards your left shoulder, but keep your spine nice and tall as you do this movement. It can add really nice stretch to the trapezius muscle on the right side of your neck. We hold this for a couple of minutes, anchoring in the breath, anchoring in the present moment. I will let you experience this moment in silence. Just know that whenever you feel it's time to make adjustments, either with your feet, moving them away, or with your hand, moving it further up the spine, or straightening the head and neck, please listen to your body, go with whatever is asking of you. And when there is time to change over to the other side, I'll let you know. In poses, we hold our shapes for longer to allow our bodies to create more space, to create more room in our joints, in our tendons, in our fascia, the deep connecting tissue. And we are moving out of the pose here, releasing that right arm out to the side. And we'll move straight into the other side, this time folding the left arm behind the back. Remember to keep your palm pressed against the wall, and then let that hand travel up the spine towards that space between the shoulder blades. And you are welcome to take the same variation with tilting your head and neck towards the other side of the body, towards the right shoulder. Maybe taking adjustments with your feet, with your legs, and bringing yourself back to your breathing, bringing yourself back to the present moment. Ever so often notice where your mind is. Are you present, or are you wandering outside your body, outside this space? If you are, always make that conscious decision to bring yourself back to this very moment. Because ask yourself, does your body not deserve your full attention? And start taking one full deep breath here, filling up the lungs, allowing your chest to expand to all four corners. And then exhale, release your arm down beside the body and take a rebound. Give yourself a nice tight hug. How often do we get the opportunity to hug ourselves? Hold yourself kindly, tenderly. Your right arm on top of your left arm. Your hands resting on the opposite shoulder blades. Your knees hugging in towards the chest. Maybe switching the grip to the opposite shoulders. Lowering the chin down towards the chest. Adding a stretch in the cervical spine. Show yourself some love and compassion. You deserve it so much. Take one full deep breath here. And with exhalation, release the arms down beside the body. And start making your way down onto your mat. Into Shavasana. Into your corpse pose. The final pose of our practice today. Find a comfortable position on your back. Maybe readjusting the feet allowing the toes to fall out wide to the sides. Readjusting your arms, bringing the shoulder blades closer together, opening the front body area even more, increasing the lung capacity, allowing for deeper and fuller breath. Close your eyes here and reconnect with your body. Perhaps notice, where is your body touching with your mat? And then allow those points to soften. Feel those points melting into the ground. You falling deeper and deeper. Your being becoming lighter and lighter. Staying here in your Shavasana, like you're frozen in time, like there is nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. Resting like you haven't rested in a very long time. Let your next breath to be a deep breath in. Then exhale it out and start finding movement in your toes and your fingers, in your wrists and in your ankles. Maybe start finding bend into your knees. Open your arms wide and for a moment wash your knees from side to side. And roll over to one side of the body and pause here for a moment. Then press yourself back up to a seated position, either coming into a cross-legged seat, your preferred seat of meditation. And you are welcome to stay right here and practice pranayama. I will say thank you for your practice. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in today. Namaste. I trust you have enjoyed this shoulder arm opening and you indeed feel like you have created space in your upper body and in your arms. Remember, our arms are extension of our hearts. So it's always nice to work on increasing that heart love capacity. If you do have any questions for me or you would like to leave me a comment of any sort, I do encourage you to do that. I would love you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. You're welcome to follow me on Facebook and Instagram also. Until next time, Namaste, my yogis. Remember to open your arms. Who knows what you may welcome into your life.